Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the September 2023 reading for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for September. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We'll also do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you, Sagittarius. Well, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Again, column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Pulling a summary affirmation card here, we have the card, I feel confident. So there's something you were able to do these last few weeks or month, Sagittarius, and you really owned it, and you know you owned it. So very confident, very successful. Love to see this type of energy. Let's go ahead and take a look, though, and see what other messages we've got, see what else we had going on. Okay, so at the top here we have the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords can be a card of self-imposed restrictions. This can be a card of holding yourself back, Sagittarius. I feel like, though, this is something you've kind of overcome, like something you were doubting or questioning yourself on, but you were able to change your perspective, able to change your stance on it, and were really able to tackle it and get things done. So again, this may have been something you doubted yourself on, but you were able to shift that energy and then go forward rather confidently when you would have thought this would be something you were doubting yourself, doubting your abilities on. The next card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords can be very gossipy, very dramatic sometimes. It can be like water cooler talk. It could also be finding out information, though, and I do think you found out some sort of information that took you from this point of self-doubt to this position of confidence where you were able to move forward. I especially love the confidence looking at this next card. We have the Tower card. The Tower card's a card of unwanted change. I always tell people you plan for ABC and DEF ends up happening. So it's like this wasn't cut and dry. There was some sort of change, but maybe through this change, that's really, again, what took you from that point of self-doubt to that point of confidence. So the nice thing with the Tower card, too, it always takes us where we need to go. It's a course-correcting card. So it positions you well. Looking at our clarifiers, first up we have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups can be a card of low feelings. It's loss, regret, grief. I feel like when we were in this position of self-doubt, we were kind of in a low place. We were feeling really sad. We were feeling really discouraged, perhaps is the word I'm hearing. So some of the low feelings that maybe would come from a position of kind of self-doubt. The next card that we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of gaining wisdom, and it's paired on top of that Page of Swords. So again, finding out that truth, gaining that wisdom, gaining that additional knowledge to give you the confidence you need. At the bottom here, we have the Knight of Swords. If you look at the Knight of Swords, the horse and rider are moving really quickly on this card. This makes sense. So this is a fast-paced change, and again, the Tower card is maybe that change that we weren't expecting, the change we didn't exactly want. But it happened really quickly, and it was course correcting, so it put us in the right place. Interestingly enough, it's like the situation you would have had, so path A that you thought was going to happen, you weren't feeling so confidently about. But then when it switched to path B, even though path B wasn't really what you want, it gave you the ability to go forward confidently, Sagittarius. So I'm not super sad about path B, if that makes sense. Just scooting the cat over here for us a little bit so we can take a look at our next column, which is anything related to what's coming for the month of September. We have the card, I am Crown of Creation. I love when this card comes up. Sagittarius, this is a great indicator. This is a time for you to create. This is a time for you to get things done. Whether you believe in manifesting, pray, whatever it may be, this is the ability to create the reality, create the future, create the things that you want for yourself. So love that. Let's take a look at our cards here. First up, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is typically a love card. This is very romantic, proposal, relationship, marriage driven. However, anytime we have two of something on a card, this can also be a decision card. But I do feel like we're creating a relationship here. We're creating love here. But you could be making a decision pertaining to creation as well. The next card that we have is the Knight of Cups, also another wonderful love card. This is like Prince or Princess Charming, knight in shining armor, very romantic, very proposal-like. Again, there's lots of romance, lots of love coming through here, Sagittarius. Could be new relationship or like engagement or marriage, so advancement of an existing relationship. The Knight of Cups, though, can also be like an ideal opportunity. So if you're not creating love, you could be making the decision to kind of create this opportunity for yourself as well. Keep in mind, again, similar to love, it's like the ideal opportunity. At the bottom here, we have the Two of Wands. I love this. If you look at this card, this person quite literally has the world in their hands. So you have the world in your hands. You can create anything that you want right now, Sagittarius. So it's really important that you're clear and focused on this energy going into September. This is also can be a card of waiting, and I feel like you've been in this period of waiting, and now is the time to take action. Let's take a look at our clarifiers, though, and see what other messages I can give you here. The first card that we have is the Death card. The Death card is a card of transformation. It's a card of change. Things are in movement. I always like to point out the Death card doesn't mean death, but it does indicate change. So definitely some sort of change to this relationship or change to this opportunity. The next card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands has two meanings, so I'll give you both here. One is keeping and maintaining boundaries, so now is a really good time to set boundaries and enforce those boundaries. The Nine of Wands, though, is also a card of persistence, so pushing forward, really getting things done, whether this is that opportunity or that relationship. Again, now is the time to create, so now is the time to be taking that action. The next card that we have is the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of going within for clarity. I always say this is like doing what feels good at your core. Doing what feels good in your heart. This is going within, figuring out what we want, figuring out where we would need to go. Perhaps that's what the waiting was, is you needed to get clear on what you want, and now that we're clear on what we want, we can go and create. But again, remember the world is in your hand this next month, Sagittarius, so make sure you do lots of wonderful things with it. Okay, sir, come on. Come on. Just scooting the cat out of our way here a little bit. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So starting out with a quick money message. Program your money. When you receive money, set an intention for it to work for you where it needs to, and for it will grow where it needs to grow. Okay, so in this column we're going to talk about anything related to money, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, whatever you associate with money. So first up we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges. I feel like there's a conflict that comes up with a coworker or boss this month, so something we need to kind of keep an eye on there, Sagittarius, but there is like something that comes up. The next card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of being stressed, exhausted, having too many burdens, trying to do too many things at once. You may be being asked to continue to do more, even though we're kind of maxed out here. But we need to be very careful what we say yes to in the Ten of Wands, because again, you're already kind of at limit, you're at capacity. There's not much more you can take on here. At the bottom, we have the Devil card. The Devil card is a card of overdoing things, which makes sense. Again, I think you have too much on your plate. This is, again, in short, overdoing things. So, another thing I'm hearing, though, too, I feel like maybe there's some perfectionism coming in here, Sagittarius, or having to perfect everything, or we're reworking. And I think that could be making it harder for you. But generally speaking, I think you're just kind of overworking right now. Again, there's a lot on your plate, and potentially you could be asking to do more, and that's what's driving the conflict. But let's clarify. Again, be very careful what we commit to. Also, you need to do some rest to correct this Ten of Wands. Those are the kind of things that lead to the burnout there. Okay, so looking at our clarifiers now, first up we have the Magician. The Magician's one of those cards that we love to have anywhere in the reading. It's about turning your visions into reality. It's very focused energy. I feel like whatever this conflict is, or this overwhelmed energy is, it is something that we can overcome, that we can move past here, Sagittarius. So for that, I'm really glad to see. But with the Magician too, I feel like we need to kind of do a little bit of adjustment here. I don't know that this current path is leading us exactly where we need to go. This is about focusing energy, so perhaps we need to refocus, reprioritize, which makes sense with all these different things we have going on. The next card that we have is the Empress. The Empress is a wonderful card of creation. It's a card of abundance. It's a card of creation. We were talking about this is really the time to create the reality that you want. The Magician is also saying turning visions into reality. The Empress is saying you have the ability to create. So you do need to do some reprioritizing. Right now there's too much on the plate to create the reality that you want, but this is the ideal time to create the reality that you want. So make sure that you adjust. At the bottom here we have the Ten of Wands. Again, the Ten of Wands is overdoing it. It's stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. The Devil card saying you're overdoing it. So again, we need to reprioritize. We need to focus on the things that mean the most, the things that are going to take us to where we want to be. Generally speaking, there's too much on your plate here, so we need to do a little bit of course correction there, Sagittarius. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. Your love message says, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. So in this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love. First up, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is very traditional, very conventional. This is a wonderful card for relationships. If you're wanting to enter into a new relationship, if you're wanting to get married, this is a good one for you. Very conventional in terms of like relationship and marriage. So nice love card there. The next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups has a literal meaning of wishes coming true. So whatever you're wanting from love, it seems like it's coming in for you. We had some really nice, long, strong love cards. We have lots of creation manifesting cards coming through here, including the Empress at the bottom. Again, this is a card of creation. It's a card of abundance. So whatever you want in terms of love, wishes coming true for love here. The Empress is also a great fertility card, so if you're hoping to grow your family, that is a good one for you as well. Let's take a look at our clarifiers, though, and see what other messages I can give you. First up, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. So many great traits in a relationship. So this is the partner, this is the person on the other side of the relationship. So that's not to say you're not wonderful, Sagittarius, but just really highlighting some of the extremely positive traits of this other person. The next card that we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is all about leaving a legacy. This is long-term energy. So this is long-term. This is here to stay. So again, this is wishes coming true. This is the next step on the right path. So really love this spread of love cards here for you. And at the bottom here, we have the Chariot. Somebody once described the Chariot to me as the vroom vroom card. It means there's action, there's change. It's about being on a journey. There's no doubt that this relationship is progressing forward. It's on a journey, so not at all surprised to see that. Now let's take a look at our next and our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. So your summary affirmation card here is I will fight. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this card, and I'll tell you why. So I think it's wonderful that we care enough about something to fight for it. But generally speaking, I wish life was just easier and we didn't have to fight for things, right? But anyways, there is something this month that you'll likely have to push a little bit harder on, Sagittarius. Fight a little bit harder for to get it done. Let's take a look and see what messages we've got here. Okay, first up we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a card. This is being very patient. It's being very hardworking. But then this is like reaping the benefits. So this is new job, career, some sort of money news. So being patient, working hard. In this case, it's like fighting. I feel like you've been fighting for this promotion, fighting for that new money. The next card that we have is the Justice card. The Justice card is cause and effect. It's favorable for you. It's truth coming out. It's getting what you deserve, which makes sense. Again, we've been fighting for this new money. Now we have the Justice card saying we'll get what we deserve. And then we have the King of Swords, which is very strategic and very intentional. It's very long-term. So I feel like this is new long-term money. So again, what we've been fighting for is definitely worthwhile here. You're like at the cusp of this win. Taking a look at our clarifiers here. First up, you have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is sometimes wanting to move away from something. You can't give up on this. You have to stay patient. You have to stay hardworking. Again, you're like on the cusp of this breakthrough, so you got to hang on a little bit longer there, Sagittarius. Don't give up on it. The Star card is our next card. This is a card of renewal and hope. Again, you have to stay hopeful here. You're right on this breakthrough of where you're getting what you're deserved. The Star card also, too, you'll get this nice sense of renewal. This can also be a card with the big star at the top of being in the spotlight. So again, getting the recognition, getting what you deserve there. And at the bottom here, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is typically a love card. This is a card of very romantic love, partnership, relationships. But it's on top of the King of Swords, which again is that very long-term strategic setting yourself up. Anytime we have a two of something on a card, so less about love and more about a decision. So anytime we have two of something on a card, it's that decision. And in this case, it has to be the decision to just keep fighting. Again, you're right on the cusp there. Okay, at this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the 10 of diamonds. This is number 8 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 4 of diamonds. This is number 27 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the Ace of diamonds. This is the number 9 card. That's going to be a no. So 3 no's across the board there, Sagittarius. Taking a look now, we're going to pull a card from our healing our healing stones deck. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of September. You have heliotrope, which is good for differentiation, protection, fends off those spiritual and emotional assaults, and helps with setting clear boundaries. We talked a little bit about those boundaries even. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our healing notes deck. Sagittarius, your healing note says, people don't always need advice. Sometimes all they really need is a hand to hold, an ear to listen, and a heart to understand them. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, if you haven't done so, also if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box. But thank you so much, Sagittarius, and I hope you have a wonderful September.